So we're on to round number 29, and the color that I'm using is lime. This is lovely yellowy green, lime green. So what we're going to be doing is, I thought I'd do a little preview for you so that you know where I'm going with this. Okay, so we're going to find the tip of our round number 21. Okay, so we're going to start in the section just above that point, or the tip of round number 21. Okay, so we're not going to start over here, but we're going to start over there. Okay, so now that you've had a look, ta-da! I'm just going to frog it. Somebody said to me it was painful to see me frogging, but I frog all the time when I'm designing, so sometimes I'll work 30 rounds and then just frog the whole lot and start from scratch. So it doesn't bother me. Okay, so we found the tip of our round 21. And what you're going to do is begin with a single crochet front post over that first 3 double crochets together. So you're going to single crochet, excuse the noise, my super busy neighborhood. Right, so we're beginning with a single crochet front post over the 3 double crochet together on the right side, so to your right of the popcorn. Then we're going to chain 2, and you can work your chain 2 in front of the popcorn, and then you'll just pull your popcorn underneath to the front. Okay, so we've got a single crochet front post, chain 2, single crochet front post. Okay, into round number 27 and round number 28. Or not round number 27, sorry, round number 28 and round number 26. Okay, so this is round number 26 and that's round number 28. Right, now you're going to yarn over and you're going to work 5 double crochets into the chain 10 space from round number 26. 3, 4, 5, like that. Then you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to go all the way down to our round number 19, and you're going to work a single crochet front post over the puff, over that first puff in that section, that little section where you have the 2 puffs. Okay, and you can work in front of your previous half double crochet front post. So you're just going to work a single crochet front post, chain 5, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, not 5. And then you're going to double crochet 5 times into the same chain 10 from round number 26. 4, 5. So as you can see, we're working in front of our chain 12s from round number 28. Then, okay, still with me? We're going to work single crochet front post over the next 3 double crochets together from round number 26, chain 2, skip over our popcorn from round number 28, and single crochet front post again over the next 3 double crochets together from round 26. And again, we're working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into our chain 10 from round 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to our puff, our second puff in that section from round number 19. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn over into the same chain 10 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll just do this one last time. Dig in there, get to the top of your 3 double crochet together, chain 2, single crochet front post over your next 3 double crochets together, yarn over, and continue. If you hear screaming and shouting in the video, it's only my neighbors going at each other again. Okay, so now, what you're going to do when you finish this round, you'll just gently pop your popcorns to the front like that, so to the right side of your work. Okay, I know these little buds have been done to death in every single crochet pattern, but I still love them. Okay, and there you go. And you're just going to carry on like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure that you do 5 and not 4. All right, so you're just going to carry on working your way around this round, and then to finish off, you're going to work your last 5 double crochets, and then you can just slip stitch into the top of your beginning single. I'm so sorry, I'm going offline. Okay, so there you go. I hope you didn't miss that. I sometimes get carried away and then I move off my mark that I'm supposed to stay on when I'm filming. Okay, so then as I was saying, you're just going to work your last 5 double crochets, and then you'll slip stitch into your beginning single crochet front post and fasten off. And now the stitch count, you should have 48 single crochet front posts, right? And then you'll have 16 chain 2 spaces, and you should have 160 double crochets, right? Because you have 10 times 16, and then you'll have 32 chain 4 spaces. All right, and I think that's it. And yours, yeah, we've counted that. So we've done the single crochet front post, we've done the chains, we've done the double crochets, and we've done the chain 2 at the back, 16 chain 2 spaces. All right, so I shall see you at round number 30. So we are on to round number 30, and round number 30 we're going to be working into the top of our round number 21. Okay, and that's this chain 2 space that we have right at the tip of our round number 21. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to find the little hole that was created by our chain 2 space from round number 25. You're going to work into that little space, so under the 2 times 3 double crochets together, and you're going to grab your chain 2 space and pull it to the wrong side of your work, and into that chain 2 space we're going to work a puff. So 1, 2, 3, and now you can do either a yarn over times 3 or a yarn over times 4, or even a yarn over times 5. Okay, I always favor the little ones, but anyway, this is a yarn over times 4. Then you're going to chain 1, and now into those back strands of your double crochet front posts that you made in round number 27, you're going to work slip stitches. So you'll work slip stitches into those 8 back strands like that of those double crochet front posts. Right, 3. So you'll work into 8 of those. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to skip over your next 2 times 3 double crochets together, and then you'll do exactly what we did before. You're just going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then your single chain, 1 chain, yarn over, go into that little space again, into that little hole. All right, from round number 25 where we made our chain 2s, you're going to grab the chain 2 at the top of our, so I'll do that again, grab the chain 2 space, pull it to the wrong side and work 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, pull through all loops, chain 1, and continue. All right, so basically the slip stitches are just bridging. The slip stitches and the chain 3 there and the 2 chains on each side are just basically bridging the distance between one puff and the next. Okay. Right, and that's just going to pull through like so. Right, so you're just going to carry on like that. And then when you get to the end of this round, you'll work your last 8 slip stitches, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the top of your beginning puff and fasten off. And that's it, round number 30. So it's a very easy round, a little bit laborious, but it goes quite quickly once you get into the swing of things. Okay, so I shall see you at round number 31. Okie dokie, so we're on to round number 31, and round number 31 we're working with our sunshine color again. Now, what we're going to be doing is we are going to work into the space after skipping 4 double crochet front posts from round number 27. So you're going to find your double crochet front posts and you're going to count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're just going to mark that space with your hook. And now we're also working, so we're working in front of our chain space, our chain 10 space, right, like that. And we're working over the space between our double crochet front posts and the chain 12 from round number 28. Right, now what we're going to be doing is working 5 double crochets. So I'm starting off with a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then what we're going to do is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to work a single crochet. We're going to work a single crochet into our chain 2 space from round number 26. Okay, so between the two, so it's round number 26 is over here, and we did that chain 2 space between our 2 times 3 double crochets together. And now on the wrong side of your work, you're just going to attach your chain 4 with a single crochet. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over. Now going to skip our 4 double crochet front posts, going to go into that space, working over our chain 12, and we're going to work 5 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into our chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over. And again. So it's a bit tricky because you're going into that space, but you're pulling that chain 12 to the front and working in front of your chain space, your chain 10 space. Although it doesn't look like a chain 10 now. It's just a little piece of the chain 10 space sticking out there. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet. Alright, so that's pretty simple. So you can see kind of where we're going with this. Okay, so you should end up with 16 times 5 double crochets and 16 times single crochets, that one, and 32 chain 4 spaces. Okay, and then to finish, you're just going to slip stitch into your second double crochet at the beginning to fasten off, and I shall see you at round number 32. Okie dokie, so we're on to round number 32, and in the sample I did this round in the vintage peach, so I'll also list vintage peach as the alternative colorway. All right, but what I'm going to use, the color that I'm going to use is cream. So now we're going to be working into those 4 spaces between our 5 double crochets. All right, so you can just find your 5 double crochets from the previous round, and then we're going to begin between the first 2, and we're going to be making 4 trebles together. So I'm going to start with a chain 4, which is the sort of traditional way, and of course if you know how to do a standing treble, then go ahead and start with that. Okay, so we're going to work 4 of these trebles together. Chain 1 to close, chain 2. I think I'm attracted to the cream today because it's so boiling hot. So the cooler colors are appealing to me. Okay, chain 1 to close, chain 2. And the yarn, of course, is a bit squeaky because it's so warm and humid. And of course, I'm not using cotton here, but I'm using acrylic, which is going to be my last acrylic piece where I'm going to be using acrylic. So I have a lot of acrylic. I have the Shapers Color Crafter and Stylecraft, so just kind of working through that. But then in the interests of our environments, I'm going to be using cotton from now on. So okay, so we're going to work 4 of those 4 trebles together, and then I'm going to chain 1, and you're going to work where you're going to attach it is sort of at the back of your popcorn, like that. Okay, so you're just going to work a single crochet over that join where your 2 chains join. Chain 1, yarn over twice, and repeat. We're just going to repeat everything that we did into our next 5 double crochets. Chain 1 to close, chain 2. I'm just going to do this next section with you as well, and then I'll stop. Okay, just so you're absolutely sure. Chain 1 to close, chain 2, and another one, so 4 trebles together, 3 and 4. Chain 1 to close, chain 2, and the last one into the next space. 1, 2, oops, 2, oops, 3 and 4. Chain 1 to close, chain 1, and then again you're just going to find so you're working behind that chain, all right, like that chain 3 space, and single crochet, chain 1, and continue. Right, so you've got these lovely fresh little buds sticking up like that. Okay, I'm just going to get the darker background, get better. Right, so nice easy peasy round, as you can see, and you're just going to go all the way around like that, and then when you've made your last single crochet and chain 1, you'll just slip stitch into the top of your first 4 trebles together and fasten off. Okay, so nice and simple. I don't think I have to give you a stitch count, do I? You're going to have 16 sets of 4 times 4 trebles together, and the same goes for your 3 chain 2 spaces in between, and then you'll have 32 chain 1 spaces, and you'll have 16 single crochets. Okay, so I shall see you at round number 33. And we're on to round number 33, and the color that I'm using is lime. We're going to be working into round number 29. We're going to be working into that chain space behind our popcorn, and we're going to make 3 double crochets together. So I'm starting with the traditional chain 3. Okay, and then we're going to work another 2 double crochets, and then we're going to work them all together. and close with a chain like that. Then we're going to chain 1, yarn over, and over our next 4 trebles together, we're going to work a half double crochet. Into the chain 2 space, we're going to work 4 double crochets. 3 and 4. Half double crochet front post over our next double crochet. Our next 3 trebles together. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets into our next chain space, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. Half double crochet front post over our next 4 trebles together, 4 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 3, 4, and half double crochet front post over our next 4 trebles together. Chain 1, yarn over, and here we are again at our chain space behind the popcorn. Going to work 3 double crochets together into that space. Chain 1 to close, chain 1, and now we're going to repeat everything that we did before. So I'll just do this one more time with you guys, gals, guys and gals. Let's try and get some yarn here. Okay, then we're going to work half double crochet front post into our second chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, yarn over, half double crochet front post, 4 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 3, 4, half double crochet front post over our next 4 trebles together, chain 1, and ta-da! We're back at our chain space. 2, 3. Chain 1 to close. Okie dokie. So there we go. Right. So you're going to have that going on. Right. So you're just going to carry on like that, and then you should end up with 16 sections. So 16 times everything we did over there. All right. And to fasten off, you'll just slip stitch. So you'll work your chain 1 and then just slip stitch into the beginning 3 double crochets together. Right, okay. And I shall see you at round number 34. Okay, so we are on to round number 34. And round number 34, we're going to be working chain 4s. That's all. Just chain 4s. So we're going to begin. So let's find a good place to begin. Well, they're all good, I suppose. So what we're going to do is find where we made those half double crochet front posts over our 4 trebles together. All right. So in this little section over here, we have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to turn our work to the wrong side like that. And we're going to work into the back strand of the half double crochet front post to your right. So right of the 3 double crochets together. So there's the 3 double crochets together, and we're working into the back strand of that half double crochet front post to the right. Okay, and now just going to work single crochet and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the back strand of the next half double crochet. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. There we go. So try and get into both of those strands and single crochet, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next. So you can see what we're doing. We're basically just working a single crochet and a chain 4, and we're working the single crochets into all of the back strands of the half double crochet front posts from the previous round. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. So you should end up with 4 times 16. I think it's 4, 6, 12. Yeah, it's 64 chain 4 spaces and 64 single crochets. Okay, so you're just working those little chain 4 spaces all the way around, and then when you get to the beginning again, just get to the end when you've made your full circle, you can just slip stitch into the beginning chain 4 space and fasten off. So although we're going to carry on with the same color, or I'm going to fasten off after each round for the next few rounds, just in case you want to use different colors and you want to know how to finish off each round. So I'm not going to just make it a continuous, just if you're using one color, it's technically correct to just work continuously and that's a whole different finish off, okay? But I'm finishing off each round separately just in case you want to change up your colors. Okay, so that is round number 34, and I shall see you at round number 35. Okay, so we're on to round number 35, and the color I'm continuing with is the Aster, and this time we're going to be working 3 double crochets into all of our chain 4 spaces. So you can begin wherever you want to. Okay. And then when you've completed your round, you'll just slip stitch into your second double crochet and fasten off. Okay, so nice simple round, 3 double crochets into each of the chain 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, so that's what it is. Not much more to show. All right, so you should end up with we had 64 times 4, it's 100 so we had 64 chain 4 spaces times 3, and that will give us 192 double crochets at the end of this round, and I shall see you at round number 36. On to round number 36 and number 37, and 36 and 37 are exactly the same. All right, so I'm not going to do a tutorial for this. I just need to show you, okay, because it's so simple. You'll do 3 double crochets into your 64 spaces. Okay, so you're going to have exactly the same stitch count, but you'll do a chain 1 in between. So it's three double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and your stitch count for this round will be 192 double crochets, or 3 times 64, and you'll have 64 chain 1 spaces. And then the next round is exactly the same as this one. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1. Okay, and the stitch count will be exactly the same. So I don't really need to show you how to do that. I'll just show you what you need to do, which is this. Okay, so pretty simple. So the next 2 rounds, just going to do very simple sort of granny stitch all the way around. And then when you get to the end of your round number 37, you're going to slip stitch into the second double crochet and fasten off. Okay, so, and you should have a nice large yarn pizza. And I shall see you at round number 38. To round number 38, and the color that I'm using is pistachio. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down or back to round number 33, and where we did our half double crochet front posts. Okay, so you're going to find a beginning one, and we're going to work a single crochet front post. Now you're going to be working 1 half double crochet into the top, well, not into the top, but into the next 4 stitches, like that, into those double crochets. Okay, then you'll work single crochet front post over the next half double crochet front post. Then you're going to work half double crochet into the next 2 double crochets, then into the next chain 2 space, so into that space at the top we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Oopsie. It's best to turn your work a little bit at an angle. 1, 2. Then we're going to work half double crochet into the next 2 double crochets. Okay, single crochet front post over the next half double crochet front post, and then I know it gets a little bit finicky and then 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets over the next 4 half double crochets over the next 4 double crochets, and then a single crochet front post around our next half double crochet, chain 1, skip our 3 double crochets together, and you're going to repeat everything that we've done again. You're just going to carry on like that. So single crochet front post, half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet. There goes my noisy neighbor again. Without fail, ladies and gents. Okay, and then 2 half double crochets into the next 2 double crochets. That's after you've done your single crochet front post. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And I mean, I could just end this video right now and start from the beginning again, but then I would be here forever and a day trying to make videos if I had to do that. I just have to live with it. Okay. Right, single crochet front post, and then you get my drift. So it's a little bit labor intensive, right? Especially with a 4 millimeter hook. You'd want to sort of go down to a smaller hook size, but then it's not going to be the same. Right. And then single crochet front post, chain 1, and continue. All right, and that's just going to create that sort of added outline there. So it's going to look like that. Okay. So, all right, so pretty simple. What you're going to have is in each little section, you're going to have 4 single crochet front posts, right? You're going to have 1 chain 2 space. You're going to have 2 sets of 4 half double crochets, 2 sets of 2 half double crochets, and 2 sets of 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets plus 2 double crochets, so 2 sets, so 4 double crochets, right? So 4 double crochets, 6 half double crochets, and 4 single crochet front posts. Hope I didn't say half double crochet front posts. Single crochet front posts, right? And 1 chain 2 space. And then you're going to have that chain 1 before you skip over to the next. What could we call these? Your next, those things. All right, so you just carry on like that, and it is a bit of a long round, and it's quite finicky, and it's a lot of stitches, but I know you can do it. You can just watch Netflix. So that is round number 38, and of course, to finish, you'll just work a chain, all right, chain space, and I hope I didn't call this a single crochet. There's a chain space, right? 1 chain space. So, and then also, obviously, you're going to have 16 chain spaces. And when you've finished making your last chain space, you'll just slip stitch into your beginning single crochet front post and fasten off. All right, so that is round number 38 done and dusted, and I shall see you at round number 39. So we're on to round number 39, and I've gone ahead and started this round. So basically what we're going to do is just repeat everything that we did in round 35, 36, and 37, and that's just to end off this section. Now, again, I'm taking into consideration that acrylic has a lot of stretch, and a lot of cotton blends also have good stretch. So your stitches should be fine. They should still be lying nice and flat. But if you find that your edges are starting to curl up really badly, so if it's very tight, especially if your tension's very tight, or you're using a much stiffer yarn. Sometimes 100% cotton can be very tight. Then add an extra chain one. All right, you can add an extra chain one. So it's still 3 double crochets into the chain one space, chain one, okay, and your stitch count will be exactly the same as round 35, 36, and 37. Easy peasy. And then to close off your round, you'll just slip stitch into your second double crochet, excuse me, and fasten off. We're on to round number 40, and round number 40 I'm using pistachio, and I'm not going to show you this round because it's super simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to work a puff into this chain 2 space from round number 38. Then you're going to chain 3 single crochet into the chain 1 space from round number 39. Chain 3 single crochet, chain 3 single crochet, chain 3, and then a puff again into our chain 2 space. So your stitch count is going to be 16 puffs, all right, and the puffs are yarn over times 4, chain 1 to close, right? And then you are going to have 64 times chain 3 spaces, and you're going to have 48 single crochets, and that's it. And then to close, you'll just slip stitch into the top of your beginning puff and fasten off. Right, so it's just going to look like that. Okay, like that. Right, and then I'm going to see you at round number 41. Okay, so we're on to round number 41, and the color that I'm using is mustard. And now what we're going to be doing is working 3 half double crochets into our chain 3 space. Right, so we're going to start, you can start pretty much anywhere you want to. Right, so we're going to work 3 half double crochets. Now over our single crochet, we're going to work yarn over times 3 puff. Then into the next chain 3 space, we're working 3 half double crochets. And then again, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, whoopsie, almost did a puff there, 1, 2, 3 half double crochets. So it's going to look like that. Then we're going to work a half double crochet front post over our puff, yarn over, and 1, 2, 3, and a puff over our next single crochet. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sounds a bit like a dance. And then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So we're working puffs over our 3 single crochets, and we're working half double crochets into our 4 chain 3 spaces. Okay, so we're working 3 half double crochets, and then we're working a half double crochet front post over the puff. So it's going to look like so. Right. So you're just going to carry on like that. So each little section, so you've got 16 sections that look like this, and each section has 3 puffs and 4 sets of 3 half double crochets, so 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, and then you're going to have a half double crochet front post over your puff from round number 40. Okay, so this is round number 41, and the color is mustard, and I shall see you at round number 42. But before I go, we're going to work to finish off. You'll just work a half double crochet front post over your last puff, and then just slip stitch into your second half double crochet and fasten off. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, so we're on to round number 42, and I'm continuing with the same color. What we're going to be doing is working, so you can begin absolutely anywhere you like. We're going to be working a half double crochet front post over all of our stitches. Okay, so a nice simple round. If you can hear a dog howling in the background, that dog is Chase, and every time his owner goes out, just to the shops or somewhere, he starts howling. And I often call to him over the wall and give him a few cookies, and then he quietens down. And his owner's not gone for very long at a time. You know, normally he'll just go up to the shops or something, and then the poor dog howls and howls. And sometimes he howls and sets off all the other dogs in the neighborhood, and then it's a dog choir of howling. And the same happens when we have sirens going past. It sets off one dog, and then all the dogs start howling. I live in a very colorful neighborhood. That's all I can say. And noisy. All right, so it's going to make that little ridge, because we're going to be starting our corners into those stitches at the back, which was from round number 41. Okay, so you're just going to go around working your half double crochet front posts, and to close off you'll just slip stitch into your beginning half double crochet front, or your second one. Actually, it's easier to slip stitch into the second one, fasten off, and I shall see you at round number 43. Okie dokie, we're on to round number 43, and round number 43 I'm continuing with the same color, mustard, and what we're going to be doing is making independent corners. So we're going to have 4 independent corners, and if you've never done my patterns before and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing 4 of these independent corners. So these are made independent from the round, so to speak, and then our final round we will actually just sort of tie it all in like that. Okay, so probably the best thing to do is just follow what I do, and then you'll know exactly what I mean. But for those of you who've made my patterns before, you're very familiar with my independent corners, and you know that I always have a lot of fun with them. Okay, so let's start. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our corners. So you can pick any 3 of these arches, and now you're going to find your center one. That will be the center point of your corner, and you're going to find your 2 sides over there. So you can mark them off like I have done here. So between each corner you'll have one of these little arches. Okay, So your corners, you'll be working sort of over those 3, as you can see, and then the side, you'll just have that 1. So then your next 3, so you'll mark your left side, your center, and your right side. But you don't have to mark the center as long as you're marking your left side and your right side of your corner, like that. All right. So now, what we're going to do, this independent corner has 9 parts. Okay, and they're all worked more or less independently from each other, but stick with me and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in round number 41 and we're going to work half double crochet front post over our half double crochet front post from round number 41. Okay, so you just make sure you haven't caught any little strands like me. Right, we're just going to work a chain 2 front post. So my chain 2 front post is equivalent to a half double crochet front post. Chain 1. Then we're going to skip 2 legs. Now when I say 2 legs, I mean those stitches at the back there. So you see a little leg there and a little leg there. We're going to skip those 2. We're going to work half double crochet into the next space. Chain 1, skip the next 2 legs, half double crochet, chain 1, skip the next 2 legs, half double crochet, chain 1, skip the next 2 legs, half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, chain 1. So we're skipping our 2 legs, half double crochet, chain 1. Now you're going to carry on like that until you have 15 of these half double crochets, and you're going to end off with a half double crochet front post over your, where you've placed your stitch marker over that half double crochet front post from round number 41. You're going to end off with a half double crochet front post over that half double crochet front post. So you should have 15 half double crochets and you should have 16 chain 1 spaces plus 2 half double crochet front posts. Okay. Okay, so I didn't really have to show you how to do that because that's pretty easy. So I shall see you at the end of this part number 1. Okay, so you should have 17 stitches there altogether and 16 chain 1 spaces. Now we're going to work into, for part 2, we're going to be working into our second chain 1 space. So we're going to skip the first chain 1 space, chain 2 and chain 1. Right, and this time we're going to have, we are going to have 14 half double crochets and 13 chain 1 spaces. Oopsie. Okay. And fasten off as before. And so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 half double crochets and 13 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so you're going to fasten off and I'll see you at part number 3. Part number 3, we're going to be doing exactly what we did before. So we're just decreasing our stitches. So we're going to work into the second, going to begin into the second chain 1 space, chain 2, which is equal to 1 half double crochet, and chain 1, which is equal to chain 1. And then this time we're going to have 11 half double crochets and 10 chain 1 spaces. Okay, and again we're going to place our last half double crochet into the second last chain 1 space. Okay, so we'll have 1 chain 1 space left over. Okay, just make sure that you secure your, I like to do that little double knot there if I'm doing these independent rounds. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 10 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and now for part number, so we've got part number 1, part number 2, part number 3, part number 4, same thing. We're skipping our first chain 1 space, chain 2 plus another chain. So this time we'll have 8 half double crochets and 7 chain 1 spaces. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, fasten off with a knot. Right, so that is part number 4. I'm going to go on to part number 5. Part number 5, we're going to have 5 half double crochets. Again, we're going to skip our first chain 1, chain 2 plus a chain 1. So we're going to have, so that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, that piece was a bit longer than I thought. I'm just working with scrap pieces here. So, okay, like that. Now for something completely different. All right, so it's going to look like that up until this point. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 1s. Sorry, I'm just rescuing my ball, which has gone rolling off. Now into our chain 1 spaces. All right, from our previous part, so we're on to part number 6 now. So into our chain 1 spaces, we're going to work 4 puffs, and I'm making my puffs yarn over times 3. We're not going to work a single crochet between them or anything like that. We're just going to 3 like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. So we're going to turn our work, yarn over, and into the next 3 spaces we're going to make a puff. So we're going to have 3 puffs. 1, and again I'm just doing yarn over times 3 little teeny puffs. Chain 1, turn your work right side. 1, 2, 3. So we're making 2 puffs this time, 1 into the 2 spaces left over. 1, 2, 3. Pull through all loops and fasten off. Okay, so I would secure the ends pretty well. Don't want anything coming adrift. Now your corner is going to have quite an odd shape. Don't worry about that. It's going to look like so. Okay, now, so that is up to round number 8. So we've got, part. So we've got part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, and part 8. Okay, so I shall see you at part 9. Part 9, we're going to go back to our part 1. We're going to work into that first single crochet space. That single crochet space. Tisk. We're going to work into that first chain 1 space. And we're going to make a puff. 1, 2, 3. And as usual, I always start with that standing single crochet. It's just become a habit. All right, so we're making a puff into that first chain 1 space. Chain 1. Now we're going to make a puff into the next chain 1 space. So now we're going up a step. All right, to part number 2, chain 1 again. So we're basically working a puff into our skipped chain 1 spaces like that. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and into that last skipped chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. Right. Then we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to work a double crochet into the next chain 1 space right next to our puff that we worked into that same chain 1 space. So we're just going to work a double crochet, chain 1. We're going to skip the puff, and into the next space we're going to work a double crochet, chain 1. We're going to skip the next puff, and into the next space we're going to work double crochet, chain 1, and now into that 1 space between our last 2 puffs we're going to work a double crochet, then we're going to work a puff. Oh, I was doing so well. Then we're going to work a puff. 1, 2, 3. We're going to, and now basically we're going to mirror everything that we did up this side. We're going to go down the other side. So we're going to work a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next puff, double crochet, chain 1, skip the next puff, double crochet, chain 1, skip the next puff, double crochet into that same space as the puff, chain 1, and we're working a puff into the next skipped, well, it wasn't really skipped, it was just completely ignored, into the ignored chain 1 space, or the leftover chain 1 space. Going to go down, so it's a little bit awkward if you haven't worked in any tails, but don't work in your tails at this point. Working into that last chain 1 space, chain 1, working into that last chain 1 space, chain 1, working into the last chain 1 space. Okay, and fasten off. And that, lovelies, yes, even the men who are crocheting, you're all lovely. And that is your independent corner. Now you just need to go back. Okay, well, you just need to go back and just count everything and just make sure it's all in order. And then yeah, I'm not even going to worry about working in my ends at this point. I think I'll do the final round and then work in all the ends. Okay, so this is basically the corner, and you're going to do this 4 times. So you're going to work out your 4 corners and then make this. All right, and when you've done that, then basically we're on to our last round. And the last round, we're going to go all the way around. Okay, so have fun, and I shall see you at round number 44. I wanted to mention, which I completely forgot about, and you might have noticed, when we did our part 1, where I say you need to skip 2 legs, you'll notice that when you worked your half double crochet front post, so this is part 1, when you worked your half double crochet front post over your half double crochet front post from round number 41, you only skipped 1 leg. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right, I meant to mention that, but it's really not important. It doesn't make any difference to the pattern. And the reason is because between this half double crochet front post and that half double crochet front post, we have 33 stitches, so we have an uneven number. Okay, but it's not going to affect the pattern in any way, but you might be worried and think that you have made a mistake in your stitch count or your stitches from the round that you worked into, round number 41. Okay, and then you might want to frog everything, and then you'll find out that actually everything was correct. Okay, so I thought I should mention that. So I hope some of you are heaving a sigh of relief now, going, phew, at least my stitch count is correct. Okay, because on this side over here, you can see we have 2 skipped legs, that stitch and that one, before we work into the next space. And on this side over here, we only have 1, but it, as I said, no biggie, doesn't matter. I just thought I'd mention it just in case you were worried. Okay, so I shall see you at round number 44. Okay, we're on to round number 44. And round number 44, we are going to be creating so I haven't worked in any of my tails, right? I'm going to do that when I'm finished round number 44. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find our corner, and we're going to be working into the space to the left of our tip. So right at the tip, our corner puff. Okay, so we're going to work into the space between that puff and the next double crochet. Right, so what we're going to do is we are going to work and now I've been working up this side, and now so we're going to work into that space. Okay, so now what we're going to do is chain 3, and that chain 3 is equal to 1 double crochet. Okay, it feels like I'm working backwards now, because when I was doing the sample piece I was working up the side. All right, so we start with a double crochet, right? And then into our next space, our next chain 1 space, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Now what we want to do is down this side we want to fit 26 stitches. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've worked another 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. So that's 7. Into the next chain 1 space, 8, 9, and 10. Into the next chain 1 space, 11, 12, and 13. Now we're going to work a double crochet front post over our next puff. So that is 14 into the next chain 1 space, 15, 16, 17, over the next puff, a front post double crochet. So that's 18, 19, 20, 21, into that chain 1 space, 22, over our puff, oopsie, 23, 24, 25, into that next space, that chain 1 space. So we've got our 25, and then we are going to work, and it's a little bit awkward, but the way I do it is to hold the last loop, not the last loop, the last strand, and just work a double crochet front post over the top of that puff. And now we have 26 stitches along that side, and you must have 26 stitches corresponding down the other side. Now we're going to find our half double crochet front post, and into the very next space we're going to work a single crochet, and we're going to work into 32 spaces between our stitches from round number 41. All right, so you're just going to work single crochets, 32 of those, and we're working them into the spaces. All right, so you should have 32. All right, so I'm just going to do this side with you. Sorry, I'm just counting. So you can speed this up if you like, because I'm just sort of going along. So we're working those single crochets into those stitches behind round 42. Single crochets all the way. Okay, you're going to work all the way right up until your next half double crochet front post. 31 and 32, right? Okay, then you're going to yarn over, and now you see it's much easier to make your double crochet front post over that first puff. And then, so that's our first stitch, 1, so this is 2, 3, 4, so we've got 4 stitches already, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 into that space. We can skip that next double crochet, and before the puff we do our 26th stitch, chain 2, and then I showed you how to do everything down this side. So you're just going to mirror everything that we did. Okay, so your chain 2 is your new corner space, and it's going to look like that. Okay, so I'm going to see you at the end of this round number 44. Good luck. And then so just remember that each side you should have exactly 84 stitches. Okay, 84 stitches. So if you have, so it's 32 plus 26 plus 26, not 82, I beg your pardon, 84. 84 stitches, 32 single crochets, 26 stitches on that side, 26 stitches on that side. And if my maths is accurate, we should have 84 stitches. So 6 and 12, 13, 14, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 84 stitches plus 4 times chain 2 spaces. And I shall see you at the end of round number 44. Okay, so we're on to round number 45, and round number 45 is the final round for our green tea block. So I hope you'll join me for the extension. And we have our 84 stitches per side. Okay, so what we're going to do with this, so I just wanted to show you how it's going to look. So we're going to be working single crochet front posts, half double crochet front posts, single crochet front posts. So we're going to work 8 sets of single crochet front posts, right? So I'm just going to pull that out. All right, so our corners will be a chain 2. Now we're going to begin with a single crochet. So we're going to pretend we're starting from the beginning. Single crochet front post over 26 stitches. All right, so just simple single crochet front posts. Okay, so I've done my 26 single crochet front posts. Now over our single crochets, our 32 single crochets, we're going to work half double crochet front posts. So you're going to do that 32 times times 4. Right, so we're just working half double crochet front post. So I don't really need to show you more than this. Right, so I'm going to stop there. Right, so then we have one corner done, and you're going to be blocking out your work. Okay, so you need to block it, straighten out all the wiggly bits. All right, so basically the stitch count will be 26 single crochet front posts, 26 single crochet front posts, okay, for your corners. So you're going to times that by 4, so you're going to have 8 times 26 single crochet front posts. You're going to have 4 times chain 2 spaces, corner spaces, and you're going to have 4 times 32 half double crochet front posts. And then to fasten off, you'll just slip stitch into your beginning stitch, Okay, after you've done your, so you're just going to go all the way around like that. So as you come up here, you're going to work your last chain 2 corner space, and then you can just slip stitch into the second single crochet front post and fasten off, and then work in all the tails. So these are easy peasy to work in, and one of the reasons I left them until last is because they'll be easy to work in at the back of these double crochets. Okay, so thank you once again. If you have done my other patterns, thank you once again for joining me in a crochet adventure. This obviously is the last of the series of 4 blocks and 4 extensions. This is the green tea block, and I hope that you will join me for the extension, because the extension is going to be a lot of fun. And if you need any help, please do join our group, or if you are already in the group, don't be shy to ask your questions. Okay, if you get stuck with anything, please post to the group, and our amazing and lovely and helpful and friendly members will be more than happy to jump in and help you if they have done the pattern, of course. So but anyway, whatever happens, you will get help in the group, the Hooks and Tails Pattern Workshop group. You can also email me, but normally if it's a crochet related question, sort of a bit more detailed, I generally refer those questions to the group. And the reason is that once I finished a pattern, and I do tell people this quite frequently, it's as if my brain just completely forgets the pattern. And sometimes people contact me and they ask, Jen, in row number 31 of round number 4 of this pattern that was made in 2017, is it, what stitch is that? Is it a half double crochet? No, I can't remember. And if I had to go back and have a look, I honestly would have no time to design and crochet. Okay, so please, don't think I'm being rude by not personally answering any of your questions. My brain literally just empties of the pattern, everything that it knows, and it moves on to the next design. So unfortunately, that's just the way my brain works, and that's the reason why I created the group. Okay, so but don't worry, you'll get all the help you'll need in the group. Okay, so please feel free to ask. And that's it. I really can't think of anything else. If you do have any questions, let us know in the group, and we'll definitely get back to you. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me on my crochet adventure, and I shall see you in Crochet Land. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you that what I've been doing, just blocking out. So you need to block your square so it can reach its full potential. Important also to just make sure that everything is in order. So before you spritz, so normally I block out and then I spritz with a spritzer like that, and I do a really very, very super duper liberal spritzing, and I might actually do this a couple of times until I feel that the block is holding its shape. Okay, so not really sure, sorry, I'm actually just cleaning the lens of my phone. Not really sure that you can see, my phone doesn't pick up on the true colors, but the colors are very lush and very rich, especially the greens, which the phone doesn't seem to pick up so well. Okay, so very important to block. So do go ahead and block your block. All right, so thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you soon.